Well, hello there, everyone. This is Dr. Laura Whitman, and I'm thrilled to welcome you back to our cosy corner of the airwaves. Today, we've got something really special lined up for you. I'm joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host, Mark. Say hi, Mark.
Hey there, folks. Mark here, Laura. I'm just as excited as you are about today's topic. It's one that's close to both our hearts and, I reckon, to many of our listeners as well.
That's right. Today, we're diving into the world of senior travellers. Those bold, adventurous souls who remind us that the thirst for discovery and connection doesn't dim with age. Just the other day, I had the pleasure of chatting with a delightful 75-year-old who just returned from a solo trip to New Zealand. Her stories, Mark, they were illuminating.
Oh, I can only imagine, Laura. And speaking of stories, I recently stumbled upon a photo restoration project. It was filled with images from a group of seniors who've been trekking across the globe. The tales behind those photos, the laughter and camaraderie they shared, it's something else, really puts things into perspective.
Absolutely, Mark. It's those experiences, the joy of exploration, and the bonds formed along the way that we're celebrating today. Age is but a number, and these senior adventurers are proof that life's too short to sit still.
Couldn't agree more, Laura. And it's not just about ticking boxes off some bucket list. It's the stories, the people you meet, and how these journeys change you inside and out.
Exactly, Mark. And that's what we're aiming to explore today. What does adventure mean when you're a senior? Is it the adrenaline of a skydive, or is it perhaps something more reflective, more nuanced?
I think you're onto something there, Laura. Adventure, especially as we age, morphs into something richer. It's not just about the thrill, but the depth of the experiences, the wisdom we gather, the stories we collect.
And speaking of stories, we'd love to hear from you, our listeners. What's your definition of adventure? Have you or someone you know embarked on a journey that defied age expectations? Share with us via social media or drop us an email.
Now, that's going to be a treasure trove of tales, Laura. I can't wait to hear what adventures our listeners have been up to. Whether it's a trip across the world or discovering a hidden gem right in your backyard, every adventure counts.
Absolutely, Mark. And on that note, let's dive into our first segment today.
Well, Laura, now I think you hit the nail right on the head. For seniors, adventure might not always mean bungee jumping or surfing. So it's about stepping out of your comfort zone, however that looks. And it could be a culinary adventure, a cultural immersion, or even picking up a new hobby that challenges you.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Mark. It's about embracing the unknown, isn't it? And as we get older, the beauty of adventure lies in its ability to enrich our lives with new perspectives, to teach us that it's never too late to learn, to grow, and to connect.
Exactly, Laura. And it's that pursuit of meaningful experiences, the joy of learning something new, that truly defines adventure in the golden years. It's not just about where you go, but who you become along the journey.
So too, Mark, and with that we want to ask our listeners.
I'm looking forward to hearing those stories, Laura. They're reminders that adventure knows no age limit. It's all about the heart, the curiosity, and the spirit of discovery.
Beautifully said, Mark. And with that spirit of discovery in mind, let's move on to some truly inspiring stories of senior adventurers who've turned the world into their playground. Stay tuned, folks, because these tales are bound to stir up the wanderlust in all of us.
Well, Laura, let me kick things off with a story that's sure to spark a bit of wanderlust in all of us. There's this lady, a retiree, who decided that retirement was just the beginning of her adventure. She became a travel blogger, believe it or not, sharing her journeys across continents from the cobblestone streets of Europe to the serene landscapes of Asia.
Oh, that's fantastic, Mark. It's stories like hers that really challenge our perceptions of what it means to be a senior traveller. It's not just about leisurely cruises or guided tours. It's about genuine exploration, isn't it?
Sure bet, Laura. And the best part, she's inspiring folks her age to break free from the mould, to see the world through their own eyes. It's not about ticking places off a list, but weaving your own narrative into the tapestry of places you visit.
Speaking of narratives, I came across a gentleman's story that truly embodies the idea that adventure can be a state of mind, After his wife passed away, he decided to honour their shared dream of travelling the world. Since he couldn't travel as much as he wanted, he started learning to cook dishes from every country they'd dreamed of visiting.
Oh, Laura, that's both heartwarming and inspiring. It just goes to show adventure isn't confined to physical travel. It's about embracing the world, its cultures and experiences in any way you can.
Exactly, Mark. And it's those daily discoveries, the joy of learning something new, that can transform the mundane into the extraordinary. We'd love to hear from our listeners about their everyday adventures. What's something you've discovered recently that felt like an adventure?
Sure, folks, send those stories our way. It could be anything from a new walking path you found in your neighbourhood to a recipe from a far-off land you tried your hand at. Every adventure counts.
Moving on, let's delve into how these adventures, big or small, help us forge connections that enrich our lives. I remember meeting a group of travellers on a train ride through Italy. The conversations we shared, the stories exchanged, they turned strangers into friends over the course of just a few hours.
It's amazing, isn't it, Laura, how travel brings people together, breaking down barriers and building bridges. I've always believed that sharing tales from our travels, especially as seniors, bridges gaps between generations, teaching us that, at the end of the day, we're all more alike than we are different.
So true, Mark. And it's those shared experiences, the laughter, the challenges, that forge friendships built to last a lifetime. To our listeners, we want to hear about the friendships you formed on the road. How have these connections impacted your life?
Yeah, and don't hold back on the details. Whether it was a conversation with a fellow traveller that opened your eyes to a new way of seeing the world, or a local who showed you the kindness that we often forget exists in our busy lives.
As we continue our journey through today's episode, let's shift gears a bit and talk about navigating new destinations. Choosing where to go can be as thrilling as the journey itself, especially when you're looking to step off the beaten path.
That's right, Laura. And for senior travellers, there's a whole world of considerations, from accessibility to local healthcare. But that shouldn't deter the spirit of adventure. It's about finding the right balance, isn't it?
Absolutely, Mark. It's finding those gems that offer not just beauty, but comfort and a welcoming atmosphere. Places where the adventure is in the air, waiting for you to breathe it in and let it guide you to experiences you never imagined.
And let's not forget the importance of immersing yourself in the local culture. It's not just about seeing, it's about experiencing, engaging and understanding. That's where the true adventure lies.
Mark, that brings us beautifully to our next point.
Oh, Laura, you're speaking my language now. I remember this one time I forgot to pack an extra pair of glasses, ended up squinting at signs and menus for 2 weeks, taught me the importance of a good checklist and maybe a bit of humility too.
Chuckles. That's a lesson well learned, Mark. And it's those little things, isn't it? Making sure you have all your essentials, but also preparing for the unexpected. A bit of flexibility and a good sense of humour can turn even a mishap into a memorable part of the journey.
Absolutely, Laura. And let's not forget about leveraging technology. There are so many apps and tools out there now that can make travelling so much easier for seniors, from language translation apps to online maps that help you navigate unfamiliar streets with ease.
Indeed, Mark. Embracing technology can truly enhance the travel experience. But let's also talk about sustainable and responsible travel. It's something I hold dear, ensuring that our adventures today don't harm the opportunities for others to explore tomorrow.
That's a crucial point, Laura. Travelling with an eye towards sustainability means being mindful of our environmental impact, supporting local economies, and engaging with cultures in a respectful and enriching way. I always try to leave a place a little better than I found it, even if it's just by sharing a smile or a kind word.
It's about the legacy we leave behind, isn't it, Mark? And speaking of legacies, our travels have taken us to some incredible places around the globe. Each destination has its own story, its own beauty that stays with you long after you've returned home.
Oh, for sure, Laura. Like that trip to Africa, experiencing the vastness of the savannah, the wildlife, and the warmth of the communities there, or the vibrant streets of South America, where every corner offers a new discovery.
And let's not forget the rich history and culinary delights of Italy, or the mesmerizing landscapes of Morocco. Each place offers a unique adventure, a chance to immerse yourself in a world different from your own.
Those experiences, Laura, they shape us. They teach us about the world and about ourselves. It's the essence of travel, isn't it? The stories we bring back, the memories we cherish.
Absolutely, Mark. And it's not just about where we go, but how we share those experiences. That brings us to the art of travel writing and storytelling. Documenting our journeys, sharing our discoveries, it's a way to inspire others and to keep those memories alive.
You're spot on, Laura, and in today's digital age, becoming a travel influencer isn't just for the young. Seniors have so much to share, so many stories that can inspire a whole new generation of travelers. It's about finding your platform, your voice, and letting your adventures resonate with others.
It's those stories, Mark, that remind us of the transformative power of travel, how it opens our eyes, challenges our perceptions, and encourages personal growth. Whether it's volunteering, engaging in cultural exchanges, or simply stepping into the unknown, travel has a way of broadening our horizons in the most unexpected ways.
That's the heart of it, Laura, the growth, the connections, the experiences that shape our journey through life. And for our listeners, we'd love to hear about your travels, the lessons you've learned, and how they've contributed to your personal growth.
As we start to wrap up today's episode, let's address some frequently asked questions from our listeners. From how to start sharing your travel stories to finding the best destinations for senior travellers, we're here to offer our insights and encouragement.
And remember, folks, it's never too late to embark on a new adventure, to discover something new about the world and about yourself. Keep those questions coming and let's keep the spirit of exploration alive.
As we close, I want to emphasize the timeless nature of adventure and the unique stories that senior travellers have to share. And let's not forget the role of photo restoration in preserving these precious memories. MemoryCherish, for instance, does remarkable work in bringing these stories to life, ensuring they're cherished for generations to come.
It's been an absolute pleasure sharing today's journey with you all. Thank you for tuning in, for sharing your stories and adventures with us. Keep exploring, stay curious, and remember, the world is waiting for you.
Until next time, dear listeners, keep building those connections, seek out new adventures, and remember, age is just a number when it comes to exploring the wonders of our world. Farewell and happy travels.
Goodbye, everyone. Can't wait to hear about your next adventure.
Thank you so much for listening to the Timeless Tapestry podcast. If you enjoyed what we shared today, please help us by subscribing to the show. Not only will you be notified when the next one comes out, it also helps get the show out to many more people. We appreciate you and thank you so much for listening.